is now the third edition, and I must say that we did quite a ways since the first time. Second edition is like this festival could be called the Crescendo Festival, Pietrasanta in crescendo, because in musical terms it's really growing, and it's really I'm very happy the way it has evolved. Like you see a child growing, and it's. I think my instincts were right. My instinct told me this is the right place, this is the right time, end of July, and this is the right thing to do.
Ce festival, il existe grâce à Michael Gutmann, son directeur artistique. Et puis il est né d'une rencontre entre Gutmann, l'assessore et à la culture à Daniel Espina. Et voilà, une amitié qui est née, une volonté commune de faire quelque chose.
And I said, why not do something in the musical world along the artistic world, and why not do something in the spirit of what happened in Elba, but different, because everybody is different, and I have other friends, and then Yuri Bashmet and so forth. And so he said, okay, let's try it. And we decided at the last moment to do, it was already quite late in the preparation, we decided to start a festival. The specifics of the festival is this Chostakovich also has 200 seats. It's intimate. The quality of the sound is beautiful. The artists enjoy playing in that intimate setting. It's such a huge salon. It's on the open air, but closed in with the walls, so the acoustics are just remarkable.
C'est un petit écrin au milieu du village, de la ville, et un écrin qui contient un joyau qui est la musique qui est proposée tous les soirs.
It's very interesting because it's not only when one starts learning a piece, it's the whole time. Also, once you learned it, but if you look at the partition again and again, you discover more things. All the time, it's true, no?
But it's good, you know, I think you have to do both these things of the past, and but you are in the present. And music, it's always
in the present.
Life, no? It's the moment you do it, so the present must be there, of course.
Historical performance practices played a very big role in informing us, mostly about the correct text. Yeah, eventually, what happened in the 60s of the 20th century is a huge surge of knowledge and interest and curiosity about new possibilities to use an instrument which we thought was already fixed and fully fermented. So to go back to the interest to go back to the historically correct practices of performing brought simply new technical possibilities and a lot of experimentation. That's what I'm excited about. Today, I think many times people perceive vibrato, or they construct vibrato from amplitude and speed and shape, which is already a lot. But there is also consistency.
The festival is successful because it is where it is. In Pietrasanta, which is Tuscany, near the sea, so people want with children to take holidays are near Forte dei Marmi, Marina di Pietrasanta, Viareggio, and so forth. They are near Lucca, near Firenze, near Pisa. I don't want to sound like a tourist agency, but let's face it, a festival has to be integrated into a larger tourist picture. And this is a perfect place because it had the art, it has now the music, it has the beach, it has the restaurants, it has all the infrastructure.
At first, it's very important the intuition. So I read the piece, play it, and sing, and then later comes the intellectual part of the work. So it's important to read books and to listen to other interpretations too, especially if you play a kind of music you're not used to. I like particularly the second movement because he wrote that piece, that concerto, when he was only 21 years old, and it's very lively and virtuoso piece in general. But in the second movement comes this wonderful C minor key, and it's full of depth, of drama, of tragedy, of contrasts, like the opera, and I love it.
It's such a nice place, it's such an attractive place that artists, musicians want to come here. So it is it's not very easy, but it makes it easier to tell so-and-so, and more or less all the artists, you ask them once, and then they want to come twice. Because it's easily accessible. You have airports, Pisa, you know, musicians travel a lot. They go from one place to the other. There are a lot of festivals in Switzerland, in France, in Italy, only to mention Europe. And it has to be easily accessible because they have to go and move on. They have other festivals. And so this is easily accessible by plane, and by car, and by train. That's why it's a perfect place, really. Not only because it's very beautiful, and not because Italy is always so convivial, and Italy is always so welcome, such a warm place. Not only in terms of climate, because it can be very warm, but in terms of the human relation, and the after concerts are so nice. I enjoy it so much. The Brussels Orchestra is an important part, as is the Arriaga Quartet. So we have two ensembles in residence, which makes the life of the festival much more easy and much more relaxed. Why? Because they are able to prepare all the programs well in advance in Belgium, where I live, where they live, so that when we come here, it's all very well prepared already, it's all there. We just have to prepare the last minute and to finalize the rehearsal with the various soloists and so forth. But most of the work is already done. And that allows us to bring a big program and not to have to do it at the last moment here under stress. There is no stress, there's always stress, but there is not the added stress of having to prepare everything here in Italy. Sometimes some festivals bring together people who don't know each other. They have to prepare everything during the festival, and they have a very hard time. And so we don't want to take that chance. We have the group from Brussels. I'm able to rehearse with them. and we did quite a huge program, symphonies with winds, we did string pieces, we did string soloist, with the flute, we did pieces with the cello solo, with the piano solo, and so forth. So without this kind of group ensemble in residence that you are able to work with before the festival, you don't reach, I believe, the same quality as we are able to reach. Music is best made when it's made between friends. In other words, it's such a magical moment that you have to have all the ingredients. And friendship and community of spirit and thought is very important, because if you meet somebody that you don't know, that you have no affinity with, it's very risky. You never know if it's going to work. It can work, and it can be a total catastrophe. So it's very important that you know the artist, that you know that's going to click. And in this respect, yes, I know. I basically extend the invitation to people that I do know, my friends. A lot of them are my friends, not all of them, but I have a certain sense of that they can fit in and work with the spirit of the festival. So we work hard, but once we work hard, then we enjoy the concert in this atmosphere, which is the festival atmosphere. People come to a concert in the festival because they expect something else than a concert during the year. Almost every concert this year, something happened, or we decided to add a piece, or we did an encore that was not in the program, of course, but that was rehearsed at the last moment, or there was always something happening. Something happened that made the concert a very live experience, and not a recording, and not a concert in the traditional sense of the term.
Direi che il finale importante risultato sia il fatto che la tua personale interpretazione sia convincente. Essere convincente non è facile, perché appunto l'interpretazione è soggetta a una serie di fattori che condizionano lo stile e il modo con cui il violinista o un musicista in generale suona questo pezzo piuttosto che un altro. Il tipo di suono, il carattere interpretativo, l'epoca in cui è stata scritta, il compositore. Non possiamo usare stesso stile per Vivaldi e per Chostakovich. Sono stili differenti. E chiaramente quando si comincia a imparare la musica è ovvio che un artista ha già delle idee più o meno chiare di quello che vuole realizzare. È solo una questione di tempo per imparare, per far sì che questo pezzo ne diventi tuo. Quando un musicista studia e prova soprattutto sul palcoscenico i pezzi che suona, nel tempo ci deve sempre essere una costante crescita e una costante ricerca delle nuove vie, che non è detto che le vecchie vie siano meglio delle nuove, ma in ogni caso un musicista trova o cerca, è una costante ricerca, le nuove vie per poter interpretare la musica. E questo penso che sia un approccio costante con il proprio essere musicisti, e questo è una specie di finestra nel mondo di noi stessi, e penso che sia forse la cosa più importante per noi. E questo, quando noi portiamo il materiale musicale sul palcoscenico, non vogliamo fare altro che condividere questa sensazione con il pubblico, che deve respirare insieme a noi, e loro vengono appositamente per sentire questa sensazione interiore di respirare la musica insieme nel gruppo del pubblico. Ecco, questo è il nostro, penso, più grande obiettivo, che noi ogni tanto riusciamo a raggiungere. Diciamo che la parola del musicista, che attraverso la musica, attraverso il messaggio musicale, considerando che la musica è un linguaggio universale o quasi universale, penso che sia comprensibile per tutti, e l'emozione, la lingua di emozione attraverso i suoni, penso che questa sia la causa principale.
We have two concerts on the piazza. One is a classical program, obviously with an appeal to the larger public. It's a free concert, open to the city, to everybody who is in the square during that night. And we started the first year, and we continued that tradition. It became a tradition after the first year. We continued the tradition to offer, to program the second concert as a crossover and open it to other types of music. Last year we had the klezmer group. 2 years ago, first year we had the tango project on the square. This year we had the brass band with the jazz, big band type of music, Glenn Miller and so forth. The next year or the year afterwards, I also would like to do Italian popular music, which haven't done it yet, based on the tarantellas and other dances of Italy, and invite maybe a folk group and so forth, to show that classical music doesn't come out of the blue. It doesn't come out after just the mind of the people, intellectual and cerebral. It comes from the ground up. It has roots into, and a lot of times, into ethnic music.
Brahms' music is really from the depth of the soul. It's full of human warmth, full of longing, of sometimes bittersweet feelings, at times more bitter, at times more sweet, you know. But it's really full of depth, is music, and also extremely orchestral. The range of dynamics and sound is, I think, particularly important in Brahms's music. You have kind of the softest, most delicate nuances which grow into avalanche of emotions and kind of sweep you away with most magnificent and huge sound, which is never angry or aggressive, but always rich and broad and full of emotions.
I think that we should develop in the same lines. We should develop in the same lines. I think we found a recipe that works very well with the crossover concert, the public concert, the chamber music concert, the chamber orchestra, which allows us to bring very exciting and soloists to the stage. We've had a very big progression in attendance. I mean, this year almost all of the concerts were full. So we're happy to see that the quality pays off, and that the word of mouth, and that more and more people are attending the concerts. So obviously our goal is to keep first of all, to keep the same quality, because that's the most important. To keep the same quality, we'll be very happy to keep the same audience, and we'll be even happier to have it grow.
C'è una bellissima acustica, a parte che complimenti per Michael Goodman per questo festival che ha degli artisti straordinari qui, molti che conosco personalmente, e anche tutto il festival è estremamente solare, la gente è veramente molto, molto carina, il pubblico è veramente molto esperto e entusiasta di queste iniziative, e viene qui, c'è stato il pieno e vedo che sempre la gente si muove tantissimo su questo festival, è un festival molto conosciuto in Italia e in Europa, perciò io sono molto contento di aver suonato qui.
We are very lucky because a lot of festivals in Italy have had a very difficult time, either cancelled or made it much shorter. And I know because I'm invited in a few other festivals as a violinist conductor myself, not as a musical director. I know what's going on. The crisis has hit very hard, and in Italy also the public money is very scarce. So we've been very lucky to have the continuous and same support without diminution, without diminuendo. I started crescendo, but no diminuendo in the Rothschild group, which has sponsored that from the beginning, with great trust and great instinct also in a way in what could become what it has become. And of the city of Pietrasanta, who also agreed immediately and sensed that it was a good thing for the city, not only for us, and we had a lot of publicity, and I think they sensed that the name Pietrasanta is really going around also now a lot in the press and foreign press abroad because of Pietrasanta in Concerto, our festival. So really the last word is this: we are grateful, we're happy, and we shall be back next year.